This week's Parshat Shemini, has three different themes that are hard to string together. We start with the Chanukat HaMishkan, the inauguration of the Mishkan. We continue with the tragic death of Nadav and Avihu, the sons of Aaron, for coming into the Mishkan, to the Holy of Holies, with an incense, a Ktoret, which was not commanded by Hashem. And finally, we go on to the favorite part children enjoy, and that is the kosher animals, which animals are kosher and which animals are not kosher. But you got to wonder, what is it that brings these three different things together? The Mishkan, the death of Nadav and Avihu, which obviously those two make sense together, and then the kosher and non-kosher animals. And it seems like if you needed one word that sort of would go through the whole theme of the Parsha, it would be the word Havdalah. The word Havdalah, because it says right after the death of Nadav and Avihu, Vaydaber Hashem el Aharon le'emor, Hashem speaks to Aaron, Yain, and he says, Yain v'shechar al teshtatau v'necha itam bevoam elo el moed v'lo tamutu. You should not drink wine or anything intoxicating before you come into Oel Moed, and you shall not die. And then it says, Lehavdil bein hakodesh ubein hachol ubein hatameh ubein hatahor. Doing so, you must make sure you'll be able to distinguish, lahavdil, between what is holy, what is unholy, what is pure, and what is impure. And that is what is going to allow you, lehorot et bnei Yisrael et kol hachukim, it's going to allow you, the Leviim, to be the bearers of the law, the ones who teach it to the people. And that is because you'll be able to discern, you'll be able to lehavdil. Being a teacher means you have to be able to be the one who discerns between one kind of information, the other kind of information, what to teach, what not to teach. And that was the sin of Nadav and Avihu, their inability lehavdil. They were not able to distinguish between the holy and the unholy, the line which they can cross, the line which they cannot cross, and that is Nadav and Avihu, as well as the inauguration of the Mishkan. Interestingly, at the end of the story of the commandments with kosher animals, it says, Ani Hashem amaleh etchem eretz Mitzrayim, and it says, Zot Torah behema ve'ha'of v'chol nefesh hachaya, these are the kosher animals. And then it says, Lehavdil bein hatameh ubein hatahor. This is going to allow you to distinguish between the pure and the impure, between the animal that is eaten and the animal that is not eaten. And Rashi adds commentary, he says, Lehavdil lo bilvad hashoneh, but you should also be an expert. You should know what's the difference between a kosher knife, a non-kosher knife, etc. And that is something that should guide you throughout everything you do. In fact, the next Parshat Tazria begins with the words Ishaki Tazria v'yalda zachar, and the Talmud says in Masachet Shvuot, it says, Amar Rabbi Yochanan kol hamavdil al hayayin b'motzei Shabbat, whoever makes havdalah on wine on Motzei Shabbat, Havian le banim scharim, he will be blessed with children. Dichtiv lavdil bein hakodesh bein hachol bein hatameh bein hatahor yishaki tazria v'yalda zachar. He'll be even able to have a son, which he'll be able to do a brit milah on. But the bottom line is, it's the word havdalah. And interestingly, the word havdalah in kosher and non-kosher meals, food, is something that guided the rabbis to distinguish between Jews and non-Jews, to make sure there wouldn't be assimilation. The rabbis put into place the laws of bishul akum, not to eat something that was cooked by a non-Jew, so that the Jews would not assimilate and intermarry. But either way, if you want to know one word that goes through the entire thread of this week's parsha, it is havdalah, distinction, whether it's the Mishkan distinction, the Nadav and Avihu distinction, and the lahavdil of the kosher animals, which food is kosher and which is not kosher. Wishing everyone a Shabbat Shalom.